Welcome, ladies, degenerates, and gentlemen, back to Degents Picks podcast. I am your host, D Fuski, with my boy Rich. What's going on, Rich?
Uski, what's up, my man? How are we doing today?
Not too bad, not too bad. We'll start with a little bit of a recap here. I had a very tough day in college football. I believe you did as well. A couple bad beats,
Oh,
big bounce back NFL Sunday.
dude, horrible beats on Saturday. Did you see that Iowa game?
I didn't see it because I was looking at the score while I was out. Was at Hollis Hills, and I thought it was in the bag for sure. The last time I checked, it was within maybe even two scores, and then all of a sudden I look back at the final score and it's
All
just
right, yeah. So we'll talk college football here after NFL, but I just got to give you a recap of this game. Um, Western Michigan was up 10-7, and then Iowa goes and scores 34 unanswered points. Right, pretty unlucky. I had plus 28 and a half. They ended up losing by 31 points. Shit happens. Iowa had the ball fourth and goal with 30 seconds left on Western Michigan's 1 yard line, and fourth and goal, Western Michigan, no timeouts. They decided to run a play on fourth and goal and punch it in for a touchdown to cover the 28 and a half.
that is brutal. I hopped on that with you as you were going through it too, because I'm pretty sure
It
I
was,
said I don't think Iowa can score that many points,
yeah,
and they sure as hell did.
no, I saw something that said if they don't average 25 points a game this season, that their offensive coordinator and head coach are going to get canned. So
Yeah, Ferentz, it's in his contract.
yeah, it's in his contract. Yeah. Like, what the hell, man?
There was actually I think there was it was a video of him, but it was an AI video. It wasn't
Yeah.
real. But basically it was like it was a press conference, right?
Yeah.
And he comes out and he says, "Oh, you guys are all focused on this 25 points a game," and he's like, "Something. Why don't you stop talking about it and kicks my ass or something like that?" But it wasn't a real video. I thought it was real hilarious.
Yeah, I gotta see that video. I'd probably get a good chuckle out of it. But hey, that was last week. We are now
History,
on to this week, you
exactly.
know. History is history.
Yeah, I ended up going 3-6 on Saturday, and then Sunday in the NFL, I ended up going 6-2. The Pats losing,
Yeah.
obviously Sunday night, tough
You had
game.
a pretty middling weekend then. I mean, good in NFL, not so good in college, you know.
Yeah,
So
it was about even,
yeah.
and then a good night.
Yeah. I didn't have the best weekend myself. Um I don't remember my exact record. I ended up down like three units total, three and a half, maybe four. But like I said, a couple bad beats away from being positive. So, I look at that as being on the right track, and good things will come. You're not gonna hit every bet. So we're gonna do our due diligence here, trying to find the right sides, and just have more importantly, let's have some fun with it, make a little bit of coin too. So let's keep rocking.
Hell yeah, we are missing Petty. He's working today. He's working till I have to go to work. So
Yeah.
bad timing, but I'll have him send in his picks and I'll throw them up with ours.
Yes,
But
sir.
anyways, let's jump into this NFL slate here. And last week we ended with the Pats. This week we're going to start with the Pats in New York against the Zach Wilson led New York Jets. Pats favored 2.5, over under 36.5. And for the third week in a row, I am going back to the well with the Pats money line here. It's currently at minus 142. I'm squeezing the juice. Bill hasn't been 0-3 to start a season since his first year in New England in 2000, I believe the year was. I don't see that happening here, even in New York. I think They get back to the run game a little bit. Mondre's kind of been disappointing, and I like the Pats again. You can call me a homer all you want, but one of these times they're going to win a game. It's not going to be a drought for too much longer. I don't think.
No, I think the Pats. I've said it. I said it before the year, and I'll say it now. I think they are a good team, and I think they can compete in this division. Um, Obviously, a couple key turnovers in certain spots that really came to bite them on the ass later in the game because both games they had a chance to drive down and either tie it or win it. So I mean they're right there. I think hopefully this is a good opportunity for the Pats to bounce back, get a win, start building off of that. But I am on the New York Jets plus 2.5 this week. um, I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those divisional dogs at home. Everyone's expecting the Pats to bounce back here, and I think this Jets defense is pretty good. And the Pats obviously have had a hard time getting into that rhythm, and I think the Jets will not be the team that will allow them to get into that rhythm offensively. So I think the Pats have a hard time getting the ball going, but I also think the Pats are gonna make Zach Wilson see a couple ghosts out there too. So I'm seeing a low scoring game, but I don't know. I'm feeling a really close game. I think the Jets might pull this one out. I hope they don't, but I hope I'm wrong. But I'm going to be fading the New England Patriots this week.
Yeah, classic fade yourself, fade what you want, and it's a win-win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Pats win, whatever, but Pats lose, hey, I won $10. So
I see this kind of being similar to the game last year where the punt return won the game, and I think it's going to be a matter of who beats themselves. The turnovers. Yeah. Is it going to be Mac or somebody else fumble the ball, pick, whatever? Is it going to be Zach Wilson fumble the ball, pick? I think it's going to come down to the defense for sure, and it's going to be a low-scoring, close one.
Yeah, I mean the total's 36. It's not expecting a whole lot of offense on this 1 o'clock game on Sunday in MetLife. So
not too many fireworks over there.
No, it might be that game last year, Jets Pats, was probably the most boring football game I've ever watched. So
until the very last second.
Let's hope there's a little bit more this time. I'm not expecting a whole lot more, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Next game, Bills at Commanders. Bills favored by 6.5. Over under set at 43.5. Commanders 2-0. Bills with a big bounce back week last week against the Raiders. I have nothing in this game. I'm interested to see how the Commanders come out against obviously a powerhouse in the Bills.
Yeah.
I don't really like the number, so I have nothing here. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I wish this number was at 7. I mean, it would make me I'm on the Commanders plus 6.5, but I wish that number of 7.5 made me feel a little bit more comfortable. But I mean, I think you said it before the year. I think this Commanders team is a lot more improved. I think they're going to be a good team in the NFC. I don't think they're going to run away with the division per se because they got the Cowboys and the Eagles, but I think they're going to contend. Big win out in Denver last week, and I think this Bills blowout of the Raiders might be a little overblown. I don't know if that's the right word to say, but they started out pretty slow, and then they beat a bad Raiders team. Let's be honest. They did what they were supposed to do. I think this Commanders team is good, and they're at home, and I think their defense has been playing really solid. So I think plus 6.5 is the right side here.
Yeah, you can get the Commanders plus 7 on DK for minus 124, so it's almost not even buying it. Still good odds for 7.
Yeah,
get rid of that hook. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens in that game. I'm not too confident in picking either side and or a total. Yeah, Commanders 2-0. NFC Beast.
The Commanders.
Or well, after the Giants lost last night, that record comes down a little bit. But anyways, moving on, we got in Miami, Denver going to Miami. Russ and the boys taking on Tua, Tyreek, and Jalen Waddle. We know a little bit about that after last weekend. Miami looking like a top team in the AFC to start out the season. 6.5 point favorite at home with an over-under set at 48. I am leaning Broncos here,
Mhm.
similar to the last game. I wish it was 7, but it is 6.5.
Mhm.
But not an official play. I lean that way. I got nothing in this game as well. What do you think?
I lean the Broncos here as well. The Dolphins are certainly a good team, but they're 2-0, and the combined record of the teams that they beat is 0-4. So um, but I do think the Chargers and the Pats are better than that at the end of the day. But still, I mean they beat teams with a combined record of 0-4, so they might be a little bit overhyped. I do lead the Broncos. Tough loss for them against the Commanders last week. I thought they had it for a little bit there. Their offense does look a little bit better.
Defense does
But
not look very good. So
no, everyone thought that this Broncos defense is going to be stellar, but
should be with the talent. I mean, I
yeah,
don't know. They've been disappointing to start the year. We'll see how they fare against the high-powered offense.
yeah. I mean, this offense, that's the one thing about the Dolphins is this offense is explosive. Uh, you know, unbelievably fast, right? You got Tyreek, Waddle, Mostert run his 40 time is ridiculous. So
They
you
look
got an
good last week.
explosive team. So yeah, don't blink.
Yeah. All right. Moving on here. Jags at home taking on the Texans. 8.5 point favorites over the Texans. Over under set at 44. I don't have anything in this game either, but I believe Trevor Lawrence is 1-3 against the Texans in his career, or 1-4, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Texans have kind of had his number as of the past couple years. CJ Stroud, 2 games in a row, 300 plus passing yards, no picks. But nothing to show for it, obviously. I don't know. 8.5 is a lot of points, but I don't really have faith in laying it either way or even taking points with the Texans. It's a tough one for me.
Yeah, no, I'm not touching this game. If I do lean Texans here, just because of that stat, I feel like the Jaguars do struggle with the Texans for some odd reason. They've been pretty horrible here the last couple of years, so it's weird to see Trevor Lawrence and the Jags struggle against this team. But I think the Texans are. I mean, with that said, I think the Texans are an improved team. CJ Stroud has done nothing but impress in his debut and continuing that into week 2. They got young talent on that team. Nico Collins, their receiving core is actually impressing me a lot. Nico Collins, you got the veteran Robert Woods, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz moving over there from Dallas. So they're not going to be a playoff team, I don't think. But I think, I mean, what was it? Their season win total must have been 4.5, 5.5, right?
It was down there at the bottom, somewhere around there.
I can see this team getting 6 wins at the end of the year. 6, maybe even 7 at like a late run as they get better throughout the year. So I don't think this Texans team. I don't think this Jaguars team should be laying 8 at home. I would lean that way, but haven't seen enough yet. You do expect Stroud to have that rookie uh, blunder per se, that rookie game early on. So just don't want to be on the wrong side of it.
Yeah, not too much faith. Yeah, Nico Collins had a big week last week.
Mm-hmm.
They also have John Mechie, who really hasn't made any noise yet, but he's young
True.
talent. So
Second round pick.
yeah, nothing there for me. That's a kind of a stink fest. I mean, even
Yeah.
if the Jags good, it's a
Yeah.
1 o'clock game for a reason.
Correct.
Moving on in Detroit, Atlanta catching 3 points against the Lions, over under at 46.5. It's another tough one for me. I had the Lions on there early and I started to get scared off of it, took it off my card. Then I started leaning the other way with the Falcons because they've impressed. They've just been solid, middle of the road team.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions had a big week 1, obviously beating the Chiefs, and then they kind of disappointed against the Seahawks. Some late turnovers there. I got nothing here. like I said, I flip flop back and forth. I just couldn't pick a side.
Yeah, this is one of those tougher games to handicap here. I mean, Atlanta's played very well so far this season. So I like them a lot. I like this Falcons team a lot. I don't think they're world beaters by any means, but 2-0 start to hard nosed wins, going right at guys, running the ball, playing hard defense, so I like Arthur Smith too. I don't know. I just like how he coaches that team. I feel like he gets those guys in that locker room believing, So, honestly, this Lions team, like last week, they go ahead and they give up a tutty, go ahead, give up a tutty, and ended up losing that game against Seattle. And Seattle's no cakewalk, but they're at home. If they're going to be a contender in the NFC, they gotta win those games. So, I think the Falcons are one of those teams that is pretty level with the Lions. So I mean, the Lions, to prove that they can make a run, they got to win this game. But I haven't seen enough yet to trust that. So I'm not going to bet this one.
Yeah, and I want to mention too, I think obviously Montgomery out as of right now.
Yeah.
Monroe did not practice yesterday. Looks like he might be a no-go. Not confirmed yet, obviously, but those injuries concern me a little bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is a tough little slate here. I only have 3 picks down. I might add a couple as we go through, but I haven't found anything yet that I like as we're talking.
Yeah, honestly, this is a tougher week.
Sure.
Definitely a tougher week. Not a huge fan of the slate, but the slate's a
There's a
slate.
couple games in there.
Yeah, the slate is a slate. Let's find some winners.
Oh yeah. Anyways, moving on. Colts at Ravens. Another big spread, 8 right now, -8 for the Ravens. Over under set at 44. No Anthony Richardson. We have a Gardner Minshew game.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing, man. It's just tough. I mean, obviously the injuries play a part in it, but even with Anthony Richardson, I don't think this line changes too much. Maybe gets down to 7, but it's tough either way. I'm not laying it, and I'm not taking the points with the Colts in Baltimore. I don't know what you think here.
Um, I was leaning Colts all week and got the news that Minshew will be the starting quarterback. So I played the Colts +8. Um, I think Minshew, honestly, in the short term, is better for the Colts. Anthony Richardson obviously is a long term, he's more of a project, a much better prospect at any point than Gardner Minshew ever has been. But I mean, Minshew's been in the league for what, 5 years now? I mean, he's 5, maybe 6, I don't know, but around
He's
then,
been around.
he's
Mania,
he's a,
baby.
he's one of those guys we call seasoned dog. He's been around, he's seen a lot. I think he has the means to get the job done. And throughout the preseason, the chances he's got, he played phenomenally. Missed a syllable there, but very very few incompletions. He's accurate with the ball, and I think this young receiving core, Josh Downs, Alec Pierce. I mean, Pittman probably going to get a couple more looks this week. I don't know. I like them and then the Ravens haven't really impressed me too much. They beat a Texans team, then they beat a Bengals team who for some reason just hasn't put it together at all. So I mean, I don't think the Ravens really have been tested. So um, I think the Colts might backdoor this one, or honestly, I think they upset alert. I think Gardner Minshew leads his Colts team to a win.
+295 on the money line. I mean, I think it's going to be a better game than 8 points.
Yeah.
Another one. I don't trust them enough. I haven't seen enough week 3. I mean, you don't really know who the Colts are. And then you thrust in a backup quarterback against a Ravens team that's supposed to be up there to win the AFC. So nothing for me, but I think this next game will probably be the best game of the 1 o'clock slate. Chargers at Vikings.
Oh,
It's
here
basically, yeah.
here
Well,
we
I mean,
go.
for viewing purposes, you're going to see scores all over the place. It's as our friend Bucket said earlier in the chat, Chargers Vikings is what do you say, a prop heaven.
Yeah,
Bet
prop
heaven.
bet heaven.
It's basically a pick 'em. Vikings favored right now. -1 is the spread, but -112 Vikings on the money line and -108 for the Chargers. Over under at 54. And with that being said, prop bet heaven. I didn't have this on the card, but this is when you kind of you look at it, you look at the matchup. You got to take the over. Give me the over 54. I'm throwing that in there. Let's have some points. Let's have some fun in this early window. Other games are kind of
Yeah. No,
Let's
I hear
have
you.
some fun.
I hear that this game is going to be an intriguing one. Should be a lot of points. I hope you're on the right side of that one. If I were to play it, I would 100% play the over. It's not a game you play the under on. I mean, you're out of your goddamn mind if you're playing the under in that game.
Yeah,
Kirk
you're getting
Cousins.
slick, and then you just why you look back. Why would I ever do that?
Yeah, I mean Kirk Cousins at 1 o'clock. I think his team averages 66 points a game. So I mean, that's one team covering the over there. So there's no reason to take the under in this one. But I'm on the Vikings minus 1 here.
Okay.
I can't bet this Chargers team. I told myself last week I was not going to bet a game with the Chargers in it, but there is something flawed with this team, and the Vikings are going to really expose it on them this weekend. We said it after week 1. How is Brandon Staley on the flight home? We said it after. Oh, I mean it was a home game. So how is he? How does he still have the keys to his house after week 1? Week 2, how does he get on the plane to go home? Week 3, he will not. Once they lose, he will not have a job. This is it. If he goes 0-3 with the talent on this team, he will be out of a job.
I mean, we know they can score in that crazy game with the Dolphins week 1, but
Yeah,
you gotta win. You gotta find a way to win. They just have not been able to do it.
exactly.
Obviously, the talent is there,
Mhm.
and Brandon Staley is just nothing's changed since we saw them blow that lead in the playoffs. I mean, even before that, this Chargers team, in my opinion, is cursed. I lean Vikings, but I think it's kind of a toss up. No Eckler again. I don't really trust the Vikings defense either. They play hard, but they're just not that talented.
Yeah, they don't really have the pieces on the defensive side. I think at some point this season, I think Brian Flores will coach that defense up to be a top 15-ish type defense potentially.
Better, yeah.
I guess to a point. But I mean, this Chargers defense can't even play. They don't even know what defense is on their vocabulary. So I hate this Chargers team. I week in and week I just develop a hatred for this team, and I can't wait to watch them just lose every week. Get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, battle of the 0-2s here.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Excuse me again. I'll get it out eventually.
You all right, my man?
Yeah.
That lunch coming up on us or what?
No, not all the way.
There you go.
Anyways, moving on, we have the Titans at the Browns. Browns -3.5, over under set at 39.5. Tough game on Monday night for the Browns. They did not look very, very good. Obviously, devastating injury to Nick Chubb. I mean, you hate to see that. He's
Horrible.
So much fun to watch, and that was just brutal. And then obviously the impact he is. I know they have Deshaun Watson. I know they have Amari Cooper. I know they have a great offensive line, but it's Nick Chubb that really makes that team go. And now they're down him. Jerome Ford looked good, but he's not Nick Chubb. I'm gonna tell you what, man. Getting a little bit worried about Deshaun Watson after being back for this long. He did not look good Monday night. Obviously, they lose to the Steelers.
Yep.
I'm on the Titans here plus the 3.5. I've taken the Titans week 1 and week 2, and I'm going back to the well again with Mike Vrabel and the boys to keep this one close and possibly get a win.
All right. We got a squad battle here. Browns -3.5. Um, this Titans team isn't very good. Nothing that they have done has impressed me to this point. Um, this Browns team -2 defensive scores by Pittsburgh. They went they're 2-0. You know, I mean, yeah, you turn the ball over, but they don't directly like most of the time they don't directly cause touchdowns. You know, they a pick six, like you throw an interception, most of the time it's not brought to the house. You fumble, most of the time it's not brought to the house. You know, sometimes those turnovers lead to points for the other team's offense. And sometimes those points aren't 7. Sometimes they're 3, you know? So um, I think other than that, this defense looks really good. I mean, what they gave up 3 points to the Bengals. They gave up, what was the final score of the night? They gave up 9 points. They got 3 field goals to the Steelers.
Offensive points, yeah.
Offensive points, 10 points or something like that. So one touchdown. They've given up 1 touchdown all season, both in 2 games, you know. So, and I think that this Tennessee team has a real flaw on the offensive side. So I think the Browns completely dominate them. I'm looking at a 3 touchdown win here for the Browns.
Wow.
That's my prediction. I'm thinking 31-10. That's my prediction.
All right. Well, we're battling, and I hope you're wrong. 31-10 would be a tough one. I don't know. The Titans have won me money week 1, week 2. I had a
Yeah.
max play on them last weekend, and it was a sweat, but they came through and they won the game too. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the way their defense plays. Jeffrey Simmons is a beast. They got some pieces on the back end I think are pretty strong. And like I
Yep.
said, I'm just getting worried about Sean Watson. He has not looked good to me.
Yep.
He got some balls to Amari, and I know Amari was not 100% and still looked really good.
Yeah.
But I think the Titans control the ball here and keep it close.
Fair enough. Well, I'll be looking forward to seeing who comes out victorious in this one.
Oh yeah, we'll be texting the group chat for sure.
No.
Next game in Green Bay, Saints at Packers. Another pick 'em. Packers -1 and -118 on the money line. Saints -102. I am on the Packers money line here. The Saints to me have not looked impressive at all. Snooze fest on Monday night against the Panthers. Their defense is solid, but I don't know. Derek Carr is just you're getting the ball to Michael Thomas, which you love to see Michael Thomas on the field, but I think this Packers team all around is just better. And their home openers, I believe they've won 10 home openers in a row. Obviously, that's with Aaron Rodgers, but I will take the Pack at home on a short money line price.
I mean, 10 in a row. I mean, it's not a small sample size. So Lambeau Field. I mean, Green Bay Packers fans, they are some of the most loyal fans out there. You know, they're going to bring the noise, and this Green Bay team will be ready to play. Um, I don't have a side here. I do lean the Packers. I'm on under 42.5. I don't see a lot of points being scored. Um, the Packers defense has been playing pretty good as of late, first 2 games, and the Saints defense, as we've seen, has been top notch. So I think this is going to be a defensive game. I think they're going to be running the ball a lot on both sides here, trying to control possession of the clock, and I'm seeing under 42.5.
You know what? I'm actually going to hop on that with you as I think about it because we have no Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
I believe Kendra Miller will be back for the Saints, but it's still, I mean, I think he's good, but
Yeah.
and if you're going to pick out one, and obviously no Aaron Jones, I think if you're gonna pick out one thing that the Packers don't do the best, it's probably their run defense. But like you said, I think the ball's gonna stay on the ground here.
Yeah.
A lot of clock can shoot up. I will jump.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think the Saints are a good rushing team at all. So
We got Alvin Kamara coming back next week, or is it next week or the week after?
I think it's 4 weeks he's out. So I think
4
it's
games.
a week. So this week and next week he's out. Is Aaron Jones confirmed out?
I think he's still questionable, but I don't see him playing.
Yeah, I actually just as I'm looking it up 2 minutes ago, Aaron Jones has suffered a hamstring. This is a sleeper, by the way. Um, who
You just put
suffered a
that up.
hamstring injury during the Packers Week 1 victory over Chicago and missed Week 2 is officially listed as questionable.
Yeah.
Need him to start for that guillotine league. So I
Yeah.
really
Well,
hope he plays.
I'm rooting for you there, and I'm taking the Packers, but a team like the Packers, I think, is very cautious with their the way they handle injuries. I don't think they're going to really rush him back in a game that I think is winnable without him.
Yeah,
Let's
no, I
see.
hear you. He's a big loss.
What about Christian Watson before we move on? He's also questionable.
Yep.
Um, Rashawn Gary, questionable. Bakhtiari, who knows what's going on with him.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I'm still confident in this Packers team to get it done against a very, we'll say, lackluster Saints. So
Very mid Saints team.
yeah, mid, that's a better word. So packing under, nice.
Yeah,
All
pack it
right,
under. I may add the pack money line on Sunday. That'll be a Sunday decision. So
it's a good price for them at home. That's why I like it. I mean,
yep.
basically a pick. Like I said before, I don't take the back. Sorry to our Saints fans and the audience, Damio and Jimbo.
Are they actually Saints fans?
Oh yeah.
So they're not Pats fans?
Oh, they've always been Saints fans, and they've been chirping Mac Jones all year.
Why are they Saints fans?
You're asking the wrong person. No.
Do they have family from New Orleans? Like are they from New Orleans? They're just part of the Who Dat Nation.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Out of all teams, dude, the Saints.
I couldn't tell you. Anyways, that does it for the 1 o'clocks. Let's move on to the afternoon slate. We have what is it, 9 games in the 1 o'clock window and 3 games at 4, one at 4 and 2 at 4:30.
There's only
I
three
hate when-
games.
Yeah, I hate when they do that. And none of the games are really, I mean, you never know what can happen. It's the NFL, but I mean, Panthers at Seahawks kicks it off, and then you have 2 more games that we'll get to, but both of those other 2 games are 12 and a half.
Yes, we got two 12.5 point favorites out of three, 4 o'clock games.
Yeah, really nice schedule.
Man.
Anyways, it is what it is. Like we said, the slate is a slate. Seahawks at home, laying 5.5 against the Panthers. Bryce Young officially out. We got an Andy Dalton game. Over under set at 42. I didn't have this to begin with, but I'm taking the Seahawks minus 5.5. Another team I bet on every week so far. Missed in week 1. Shitty performance against the Rams, really. I mean, they looked horrible in the second half, and then they come back with a big bounce back win in Detroit.
Yeah, that's a big one.
No Bryce Young. Shaq Thompson also out for the year. He did, I think it was his ankle or something like that. He got hurt on Monday night against the Saints.
You say no Bryce Young?
He's out, yeah.
They're going with the ginger,
His ankle.
Andy Dalton.
He's out for 1 to 2 weeks, they said. Bryce
Really?
Young. Officially today, they were talking about how he hadn't practiced during the week. But yeah, we got Andy Dalton. I'll be taking the Seahawks minus 5.5. I don't know. Obviously, the Panthers weren't good to begin with. Even with Bryce Young, I don't think this changes much. For me, I like the Seahawks team at home. I think this is their home opener too, right? They played in LA.
No, they lost Rams at home. That was
home.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I'm taking the Seahawks minus 5.5.
Yep. I got nothing in this one. With Andy Dalton, quarterback in the Panthers, I feel like this number should be a little bit higher than 5.5 in Seattle after Seattle just took down Detroit in Detroit. Weird number.
Every Seahawks game so far has been 5.
Yeah.
5 or 5.5. Either way, they were 5.5 point favorites against the
Yes,
Rams, and then they were 5.5 point dogs against the Lions.
very strange. I'm not liking not
I
liking
hate the number.
it.
I hate the number two, but
Yeah, it's just really throwing me off. I don't want anything to do with it. Um, Not much really to talk about the Panthers. I don't think they have looked good at all. I think they're looking at a top three pick again this year. Wait, did they trade their first round pick to move up?
no, the Texans did. Or no, the
But
Bears.
the Bears had it, but then the Panthers traded up to the Bears pick because the Bears stuck with Fields overtaking a quarterback. So I wonder what Carolina gave up. Do the Bears have Carolina's pick?
That's a great question. See if I can find out.
I wonder if they gave up the next year's pick, or is it just like a couple like seconds and thirds? There's no way. For the number one pick, they had to give up a couple first rounders.
I
Well,
will Google
they
it.
give up DJ Moore.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I'm sure they got some picks with it, but
yeah, so they probably pick swapped the first round, DJ Moore, and then there had to be another pick in there.
the Cardinals have Houston's pick. The Bears have Carolina's pick. Yep.
Damn. So Carolina, man. Oh, that trade may come back and be an awful trade. Looking
I
back,
don't know. I don't think they're terrible. I just don't think they're ready to be. I
no,
think
I mean,
Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young will be good, but it's just they got to build the piece, and then they're
yeah,
losing
but
their quarterback on the defensive side too. That's the tough part.
yeah, but like, how good do you think Bryce Young's going to be? I mean, I don't. They don't really have any game breakers on offense. I think Miles Sanders is overrated. I don't think he's that good. I mean, Adam Thielen, talented, but at this point in his career, kind of washed. DJ Chark, talented, but I mean, he misses 6 weeks, 7 weeks every single year. You haven't really seen enough out of Jonathan Mingo yet. I mean, he's still a rookie. He could end up being a really
I
good
think he'll
player.
be
And
solid. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I
I don't
don't think
like
they're gonna shit this year. And
what like they saw enough in Bryce Young to trade their first round pick last year, this year coming up, and then with especially with this quarterback class coming up this year, and then trading DJ Moore on top of it. Like,
tell you what, Bryce Young's looked better than Justin Fields has so far, in my opinion.
oh, absolutely.
This year, obviously.
But as the Bears, I would have stuck with that first round pick. I would have traded Fields. I would have drafted AR-15. That would be that was my pick.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, hindsight is 2020, but
Well, I was saying that months ago.
Anthony Richardson was not the top guy. I really had any. I think he's the most talented, to be honest with you. I mean, he's the most athletic, sure, but
That was Anthony Richardson 1.1. That's how it
it's
should
tough.
have been. That's what I was
I
saying from
think the
day one.
Bears knew that they were going to stink again. They really haven't had any positives come out of. I mean, whatever just happened with their defensive coordinator getting house raided by the FBI for who knows what.
Yeah.
And Fields coming out saying something about the coaches, which was obviously overblown.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the media picking out little bits and pieces and trying to twist it whichever way they can to get more ratings and whatnot. But
I think they were expecting to be right there in the top three, top two, probably one. And I think they knew Caleb Williams was a better option. Anyways, in my opinion, I think if they get number one pick this year, they take Caleb Williams and they get rid of Justin Fields. I would.
yeah, I mean,
I think we talked about that actually.
yeah, we did talk about that. If they don't, then everyone in the front office should just be fired or ransacked of everything they own.
They should be doing that already.
They should be tarred and feathered.
The Bears are in shambles. Speaking of the Bears, we'll go on to the next game. Bears at Chiefs. Chiefs minus 12.5. Over under set at 48. This is one of the two shit storms in the late window.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing here. the Chiefs offense has not been too impressive to start. Obviously, Kelsey's only played one game. But their defense, the Chiefs defense has looked really good, to
Yep.
be honest. Nobody's really talking about it. Obviously, Chris Jones comes back and he has an instant impact.
Instant impact. Yep.
But there's really nothing to talk about here. This is Chiefs all the way, but I'm not laying 12 and a half points in the NFL. I'm not. I've never been that type of guy, and I don't think I ever will be.
Yeah, no, I'm not laying 12 and a half with the Chiefs. I'm not taking 12 and a half with the Bears. I'm not taking 12 and a half in the 12 and a half with the Bears if they're playing at UMass. Um,
I don't know. I'd probably take 12 and a half.
probably, but yeah, you get the point. You get the point. I'm on the under 48 in this game. Fuski kind of harped on this. I think Chris Jones coming back made an immediate impact. I mean, the defense looked good in week one for the most part without him. But I mean, he's that middle of the line guy who stuffs the run. He gets guys going. So he's back, and I don't think this Bears team has a chance on offense against this Chiefs defense this year. And I mean, I am a tad bit worried about this Chiefs offense so far. So I mean, Seattle went into Detroit and put up 35 and 37, something in the mid 30s, and then
Yeah, defensive score too, but
yeah, and
yeah,
then
no,
the
they're definitely
Chiefs at home only put
sputtering a
up
bit.
20 points, and then against Jacksonville, what was it, 17? So
That
they're
was
not their offense isn't I do expect them to improve, but I think 48 is way too high for these two teams. So um I'll take the under 48 in this one.
yeah. They got some new pieces. Wide receiver, obviously, Kelsey just getting back into the swing of things.
Yep.
Like you mentioned, I think they'll be fine, but they just haven't showed it yet. So
Yep.
nothing there. I'd love to see the Bears make a game once. But anyways, last game of the afternoon until we get into Sunday night, and we'll touch a little bit Monday night before we go to college football. But we got the Cowboys at the Cardinals. Cowboys laying 12 and a half as well. Over under set at 43. I have absolutely nothing on this game, picks wise and or to talk about, other than the fact that Trayvon Diggs towards ACL and is going to be out for the rest of the season. And I just got an update. I do want to mention this is not this game. We talked about the Ravens. Odell and Justice Hill, the backup running back, beside Gus Edwards, are both ruled out officially for Sunday.
Really?
Throw that in.
Nice.
A big day for Gus Edwards. But anyways, back to the Cowboys. Yeah, that sucks about Trayvon Diggs, obviously.
Yeah, it does suck.
Never want to see people get hurt, but I am not a big fan of the Cowboys. So
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of the Cowboys either, but I watched that Hard Knocks, and Trevon Diggs seemed like he was good shit. Seemed like he was a good guy. And obviously his son, kind of stole. Did you watch Hard Knocks? Yeah, his son is absolutely adorable, so
I did not watch, but I've seen plenty of clips of.
yeah, so my heart goes out to him, man. That sucks. His last couple of years he's kind of taken off here, and hope for. I don't say as much about Cowboys players, but hope for a speedy recovery for him. So
Yeah, they'll be fine without him. I mean, Mike is a game wrecker on defense, anyways.
yeah,
The offense has been efficient.
yep.
That's the biggest compliment you're going to get out of me for the Cowboys.
I mean, they have looked good. Not a whole lot of miscues. They've been executing well. I mean, CD Lamb had a monstrous game last week against a good Jets defense. Yeah, I mean, even though it's I guess Sauce Gardner wasn't covering him a whole lot of the game. It's just like I don't know why you don't stick Sauce Gardner on CD Lamb for the entirety of the game. Beats me, but yeah, I think Dak and CD Lamb have something to prove, and so far they've proven that they mean business. So, and yeah, Petty might be right here. I think this Cowboys team might have what it takes. We'll see, though. It's a long season. 2 games is a small sample size. It's a long year.
Correct. And it's, I mean, you got to get some luck too. And
Yeah.
starting week 3 with your star cornerback out is not necessarily the best thing to
No, Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
I think they'll be fine. I still think they can compete, but again, for me, it's gonna take them. They gotta win some games in the playoffs. I know they won one against the Bucks last year, but I need to see a little bit more before I can really believe in them.
Yep.
But that does it for the afternoon. Let's go into the Sunday night game. We talked about this before Sunday, and we have another two doubleheader on Monday, which is awesome.
I love that.
Uh,
I think it's awesome.
I think they're doing it like 4 or 5 times this year, actually.
Oh, that's money. That is money.
I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe this week and then a couple, I think at least two more times throughout the year, they're gonna do two Monday night games. But anyways, this
Do
is
whatever.
these games are tough to predict ahead of time, but Sunday night I do like a side. Um Raiders at home against the Steelers. Raiders 2.5 point favorites, over under set at 43. Similar to the Chargers, I do not believe in this Raiders team, and I think the Steelers defense can do what they did last week against the Browns, against this Raiders team that have been pretty bad to start, honestly. Josh Jacobs does not look like himself.
No.
I
I
got
don't think I
Rams.
don't think that's going to improve against the Steelers defense either, so
Yeah, and I don't know if I said it officially, but I'm on the Steelers plus the 2.5. I will most likely buy that up to 3 come game time, but that's the 8:20 Sunday night game, so there's plenty of time for that line to move a little bit.
yeah, I think this I truthfully think this line should be closer to a pick 'em. I'll probably end up on the I lean the Steelers as well. I'll probably be on the Steelers. Um, hopefully this line gets to 3, but I'd probably play it down to 2, 1.5, 2. But I think this line should be closer to a pick 'em. Steelers defense is I believe gonna be too much for this Raiders O to handle. They haven't looked good. Josh Jacobs, well, NFL, he was a leading rusher last year, right? If I'm not mistaken.
He
Led the
was.
NFL in rushing yards. So and that obviously hasn't looked like himself, and it's not going to get any easier with this Steelers defensive front coming into Vegas. So that being said, I lean the Steelers not an official play yet either for me, but that's where my head lies in that game.
Yep, I am putting the Steelers in. Like I said, I'll probably buy it up to 3. If it gets shorter, I might just end up taking the money line, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I hear that.
Um, but yeah, like we talked about, Sunday night, Mondays are kind of day of type of things as you hear more and the game gets closer. Stuff to
No,
forecast.
you never know. Like Trevon, like someone. I mean, obviously, I think without Trevon Diggs, they're still going to beat that Cowboys going to beat the Cardinals. But hey, what if it was Cowboys Eagles and you bet Cowboys on Monday and Trevon Diggs tears his ACL? I mean, obviously you have I mean, depending on how much you wager, you have a chance to kind of buy out of it, but at what cost, But I like to wait a little bit closer just in case to anything like that does happen, So
Yeah, and we'll be posting on X, on the Degents X account, Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. We've been putting out picks Monday nights. We did last Sunday night because it was the Pats, but we'll probably end up sending some picks out right before kickoff, anyway. So follow us on there.
yep.
All right, let's go into Monday night. 2 games: Eagles at Bucks, laying 5, over under set at 46. This is a tough one. This is a weird number for me as well. I don't think the Eagles have played their best ball, and I think the Bucks have looked pretty impressive. Baker,
Yeah.
the man on a mission down there in Tampa, and that defense is still solid. Obviously, I think the Eagles should win this game, but 5 points is a weird number to me, and I don't really have a side here. What do you think here?
Um, I lean the Bucks at home plus the 5. It's still early, but I mean the Eagles are 2-0. I think we've talked about this. They're 2-0, had big leads early, let the teams back in. I think their Achilles heel is their pass defense, with defending the pass, and Mac Jones ripped them up, Kirk Cousins ripped them up, and the most surprising thing out of the Buccaneers this season so far has been honestly the play of Baker Mayfield and the receiving core. So I believe the Buccaneers, if they can get the ball moving downfield quickly, put up some points, I think this Eagles team might be in trouble on Monday night.
And it is Monday night. You never know what can happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think this Buck team has been impressive as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Second game before we move on to college. We got Rams at Bengals. Bengals -2.5 on Monday night at home against the LA Rams. Obviously, the Rams have been a surprise. Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, Stafford still slinging it. Kyron Williams now the
Slanging.
lead back.
Slanging that thing.
Yeah, man, they look really good as opposed to what people thought they were going to look like. I don't think that they're anywhere near contending. Obviously, Cooper Cup still hopes, but yeah, Kyron Williams looks like a freaking star. And the Bengals, I don't know about Joey B. He's another guy that's starting to scare me there. The Bengals obviously have not looked good. They're
No.
0-2. He's re-aggravated his calf strain. Again, it's Monday night. If this line stays below 3, I have a hard time thinking that I will be able to resist taking the Bengals at home, as long as Joey B's okay, obviously. But that's probably the shortest price you'll see with the Bengals this year if things start to pick up against a team that's supposed to bottom.
I want to take the Bengals so bad, man. And they're a good team, you know. They're due for a bounce back spot. But I just don't know if it's this week with how well the Rams have been playing, like expectedly above what we thought they were going to be. You know, they haven't been world beaters by any point, but they've been playing a lot better. I want to take the Bengals so bad. It feels right home. Super Bowl rematch. They're gonna kind of get their payback on the Rams. Seems like the right spot, but we'll see. We'll see when it gets closer to game time. I don't think Joey B's right. It's also scaring me. I think that calf strain is a little worse than what people depicted it. I mean, obviously you can play on it, but it just doesn't look right. I mean,
No, he's not the same guy.
he had under 100 passing yards in week 1. Oh, he's not okay. The man's not okay. So
fast, and that's the thing. I mean, you get a short line like this, you expect. I mean, I don't think the Bengals are just going to go completely, like, be a complete dud all season long. They're going to turn around at some point, right, when he gets back to normal.
yeah,
Jamar hasn't done shit. He has like 7 catches through 2 games or something like that.
yeah,
You want to be on the right side of it when it turns back around, but you just haven't seen it yet. So it's tough
exactly.
to trust the short line like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I agree, man. I agree. But I want to bet it so bad.
I know
It just feels like such a good spot.
Right there. 2.5, really?
Yeah.
But anyways, look out on X for those picks. That does it for the NFL slate. We'll have Petty send in his picks as well.
Petty, where you at?
This week. Kids
grinding. Kids
It's a pretty tough-
grinding.
Anyways, let's take a quick break and then we'll do college football real quick. Okay, moving on here. College football week 4. It's Friday night tonight, or Friday afternoon right now. There's 4 games tonight. I have one play tonight, and it is Air Force -6 against San Jose State. We all know Air Force likes to run the ball. San Jose State isn't the best at defending the run, so I will be laying 6 with Air Force tonight. You got anything tonight?
Yeah, I actually, let me pull it up. I'm on Boise at San Diego State. I'm on the under 46.5. I think this is going to be a dogfight from start to finish. I think under 46.5 is the right side. I don't see a lot of points here. San Diego State, for as long as I remember, has been a ground and pound, defend the run, defend the pass type of team. So, especially at home too, I think the crowd will be behind them. I think they keep Boise to little amount of points, and I think Boyd's defense is much more improved from recent years. So I think they hold San Diego State, and I think under 46.5 is the right side.
That's it for Friday.
Yeah, that's it for as of right now. I lean Purdue. I might throw Purdue out there later on. But as of right now, that is all I have.
Yeah, plus the 6 at home. All right. Well, it's a good slate this week for sure.
Oh yeah.
College football. We'll start off with the Nooners. You got a couple big games at noon. Starting off with Florida State, Clemson. You got Rutgers at Michigan, Oklahoma, Cincinnati. I have one play for the Nooners, and it is Rutgers plus the 24. Michigan hasn't looked like the Michigan we know as the past couple of years, and I don't know what it is about this Rutgers team, but I think they keep this game low scoring, and I think they keep it within 24 points.
Yep. I hear you. I actually I was close to adding this to my slate, but I'm not going to. I do lean Michigan minus a 24. Harbaugh is back this week, so I think the boys get a little extra boost there, having their head coach back. I just don't think this Rutgers team is going to put up too many points against this Michigan team. I mean, we know Michigan's going to get theirs to some degree, so I would lean Michigan minus a 24. Who knows? I might add it to this slate, but as of now, I'm not going to play that one. That's all you got for the 12s.
I only have one. I have one in every time slot, and then 2 at 7 and no lates. As of right now, obviously, this is what I put in for the show. You got anything Florida State, Clemson?
Yeah, I got Clemson plus 2.
I lean that way too. I just God, I trust them yet.
Yeah, and I mean, I was on BC last week against Florida State. I mean, it was the letdown spot of all letdowns, and BC did not disappoint. And I think Florida State going into Clemson, especially with Clemson, I feel like Clemson. I mean, they played FAU last week, but I think Clemson kind of got their feet under them. Their offense looked really good. And I think they bring it to FSU. I think it's a close game, but I'll take the 2-point insurance here. I think Clemson's going to win the game outright, but I always take the spread. It's just
Yeah.
They lose on a last second field goal and they end up losing by 1 point. I lose the money line for what? Plus 115. A couple cents on the dollar. So I'd rather take that insurance with the plus 2. So I got Clemson plus the 2 there. I have Marshall minus 5 over Virginia Tech. I was on ECU last week. I didn't believe in this Marshall team. Did not believe in the herd, but they went into East Carolina and 2 weeks ago actually, and they stomped them 31-13. So, and I don't think this Virginia Tech team is very good at all. So I like Marshall minus the 5. What else do I got here? I got SMU, TCU over 63. I think this game's going to be an absolute shootout. I'm thinking 100 points. I'm thinking TCU wins this one 72-56. That's my guess. I'm thinking 128 points in this game. I might double the total. Both teams might hit the total themselves.
It's down to 62 on DK as well.
Is it? Really? Is this game really getting bet down like that? I think there's going to be points.
Hey, take that extra point.
Whatever. I got Cincinnati plus the 14. Where the hell is this game? Cincinnati is hosting Oklahoma. This is just one of my classic spots here. Oklahoma is on now back-to-back road games. Um, uh, Cincinnati hasn't really impressed me at all this year, but this is one of those spots. I think Oklahoma on the road back-to-back weeks, with Iowa State on deck. They're not gonna cover that 14. So give me Cincinnati plus the 14.
All right. Any more nooners?
I believe that's it for my nooners.
Okay, there is 2 o'clock game. I do not have that one. I do have a 3:30 though. I think you know exactly what it is.
What is it? What do you got at 3:30? Let me see it.
Colorado at Oregon, minus 21 for Oregon. I will be taking Colorado plus 21. Yeah, I'm just gonna ride it until it stops winning. I didn't lay the points last week against Colorado State. I think big rivalry game, obviously, everything that was going into it. It was a double overtime game, I believe.
Yeah.
But I'll take the 21 points here. Basically a statement game. I mean, you have those 3 wins. It's obviously huge, but I think they need to show up and show people they're for real if they really want to be in this conversation for any longer. And then obviously they have USC coming up, I think, in 2 weeks?
Colorado?
Yeah.
Next week.
Is it back to back?
Yeah, it's at Colorado, and then I think USC goes to Colorado. It's at Oregon. I think USC then goes to Colorado. So yeah.
You got anything in this?
I got nothing on this one. I faded Colorado against Nebraska. Didn't work out for me. I was scared to take them last week, but we got closer to kickoff there, and I said, you know what, screw it. Give me Colorado State. It hit, so I'm even on Colorado. I am done betting on Colorado games this year.
I'm not.
I lean Oregon, but it's just that's the thing though is when I'm tentative and I'm like, you know what, I'll bet the other team. That's when Colorado's going to come out and win. So I'm gonna enjoy watching this one. You know, I'll flip through it and I'll see how Colorado plays at a legit opponent. You know, so I'm actually pretty excited to watch this game. And just as like just a fan of the sport, you know.
Oh, 100%. It's electric. Over under set at 70 for that game. This is for me. This is more of a. It's not so much I think Colorado has the edge. I think it's just ride the wave for me. I know Oregon's a great team.
Yeah.
Playing at home.
Yeah.
If you do the 3 scores, I think is a lot. So I'll take Dion and the boys going into Eugene. That's the only 3:30 I have, but I do want to talk about this Ole Miss Alabama game real quick. Alabama comes out, Jaden Milroe on the bench against UCF, and they lay a complete dud. Milroe is back. At the start of this week, they're laying 7 points at home against Ole Miss. I just want to get your take on this one. I thought about it, thought about playing it for a while on either side. Just haven't seen it from Alabama, but the minute you go against them is when you get screwed. So
yeah, that's kind of my thought process here. I feel like there's some like sudden wave of like Alabama lost their touch. I mean, they have one loss. They came out slow against USF, Southern Florida. But I mean, they lost to a very, very good Texas team. It was at home, not a great loss, but I mean, Texas may end up being a playoff team, you know? So, I mean, and we look back into the year and it might not end up being a bad loss, but I mean, I've never been a huge fan of Bama. You know, they come in and they're the favorites every year to win it. And, you know, I like to root for the underdogs. It's mostly my forte. But I'll be on Alabama -6.5 this week. Got that placed. I don't know. I just feel like at home, it's it's a get right game. I think Ole Miss is a little bit overrated. Um, their quarterback Jackson Dart, I haven't really been too thoroughly impressed. I think Milrow, sitting on the bench last week, is going to be fired up, and I think Alabama wins by 3 scores at home.
Like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Um, I lied. I do have another 3:30. Cam Rising, I believe, is supposed to be back for Utah. Utah's at home, but I'm gonna take the 5.5 with UCLA. Um, Even if Cam Rising plays, I bet them the first week. He didn't play, didn't work out too well. They had what was it, the Baylor game? That was
That was
crazy.
that was week. That was week 2. They
Yeah.
Florida was that week 1 game.
Yep.
They covered against Florida, and then they went to Baylor and
Got
almost
crazy.
lost.
Yeah.
But
They kind of should have lost, honestly. And then they had
yeah,
that
they
last.
absolutely should have. Baylor fucking shit down their leg.
Yeah, I don't know. I think even if Cam Rising comes back, I know he's a good quarterback. He's up there, top 10, top 5 maybe in college when he's healthy. But I think UCLA and Chip Kelly and the boys are going to get up for this one, even if Cam Rising is back. He might be a little rusty. So I'll take the 5.5 points. I think it's a close game.
Yeah, that's one of the games that I looked at it quickly and I was like, man, the number didn't really pop out at me there.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with me in these 5.5 point spreads, but I feel like I'm taking them all.
You love the 5.5 point spread.
Five and a
So it's such a dead number too. Like
so weird, but
such a dead number. Hey, whatever, man. Hey, whatever floats your boat, right?
mhm.
Whatever brings winners. So I got Bama -6.5 at the 3:30 slate. I also got Duke at UConn under 44.5. UConn last year, solid team, much more improving what they were in years past, and they come out to a shaky start this year. I was on UConn last week. Let me down. They didn't play well at all. FIU kind of got the lead early, big lead early. UConn kind of fought back a little bit, but then FIU kind of pulled away. Um, but this Duke team, man, they're pretty good. They're pretty solid.
Yeah,
They're turning heads a little bit. Riley Leonard, their quarterback, a little bit of a dual threat guy. You can throw the ball, you can run it. Their defense has been absolutely stout. I think this Duke team goes into UConn and holds UConn to under 10 points. So that's kind of where I'm leaning with the under. I think Duke just comes in and UConn just doesn't get anything going. I think Duke will get their points for the most part. Um, like 20 to 30 points, but yeah, I like this under 44.5.
nice. It's actually at 45 on DK right now.
45. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm missing the
Even
good numbers,
more.
man. I miss DK. Soon
Oh, that's
though, North Carolina on January 1st. I'll be back on DK.
right. Oh, sweet.
But
Time for the Super Bowl.
perfect. NFL playoff Super Bowl. It's perfect. But then one more 3:30. I got Kansas -9.5. I think their offense is gonna kind of take care of this one. BYU beat Arkansas last week in a kind of shootout 38-31. I think it's a little bit overblown here for BYU. I don't think they're going to go from Utah. They're going to travel to Arkansas. They're going to win that game, and they're going to travel to Kansas. Like back-to-back road games. You know how I feel about back-to-back road games. I think this is a good spot for Kansas. Their offense is going to take care of business here, and I like them -9.5.
All right, that's it for 3:30.
Correct.
All right, I have a 4 o'clock, and I'm taking Oklahoma State plus the 3.5 at Iowa State. This Iowa State team, I think, is garbage. They play good defense, but their offense stinks. And I will take the 3.5 points with Oak State. I think we keep it close. I think this is another. I think it was last week where Ohio played Iowa State, and it was what 10-7 or something like that.
Yeah.
I see another one of those low scoring games, one possession games. So I'll take 3.5 points with Oak State at Iowa State.
Nice. I'm just not a. I haven't really seen a whole lot of Oklahoma State this year. You know, I don't know. So like, it's just weird because they've been like a ranked team for the last couple of years, and I feel like this year they're kind of just like flying under the radar. So um, we'll see. We'll see how that game goes. I don't got anything. Do you have anything after 4 until 7?
Nope. I'm going straight to the 7 o'clocks.
I got Wake Forest -4 points at home against Georgia Tech. Um, Georgia Tech is either gonna make me cry or make me very happy. It's just nothing in between. They either have a great game and or they are look like the worst team in college football. They've been like that for years. So and last week they absolutely screwed me. So it's kind of a Richie Sharp revenge spot on Georgia Tech. Give me Wake Forest -4. But like on another on a serious note though, Wake Forest. Why am I blanking on his name? Griffiths. I think his name is the quarterback for Wake. He's looked really good up to this point. So I think Wake at home takes care of business against Georgia Tech. So yeah, on to the sevens now.
On to the sevens. I have my favorite play of the weekend, NFL, college, all included. I'm taking Ohio State. It's up to 3.5 now. I'm gonna buy it to 3, but I'll be taking Ohio State -3 at Notre Dame. This is the game of the week, I think for sure. For college, obviously a huge game. You got Ohio State, just a powerhouse. Marvin Harrison Jr. You got Sam Hartman, who's trying to make his case for Heisman in Notre Dame, and they have the nation's leading rusher in their backfield. Name is slipping my mind right now. But I like Ohio State in the defense to get this game done against Notre Dame.
Yeah. I want to bet Notre Dame very badly here. At the beginning of the season, I had this game circled. I feel like Notre Dame was an improved team, and so far they've shown that they have been an improved team. But I just don't know. Ohio State hasn't looked too good, and the spot looks so good for Notre Dame at home. I feel like this game should be closer to a pick 'em, so the line's kind of throwing me off. Um, we'll see. I might have to add it, but what was I about to look at here? Notre Dame. They're I need to see their running back because it's kind of pissing me off that I don't know his name.
I can't remember his name.
Because I remember watching that game when they played Navy in Ireland, and their running back is an absolute beast.
Yeah, he's leading the nation in rushing.
Yeah, he's a tank. Of course, this roster isn't in order by position. It's all just random. They have 6 running backs on their roster. This is crazy. How many people do they have on their team?
College,
Did you see?
bro.
I know. Did you see that? That kid who's like Estime. I was thinking something like that. But you see that kid who like I forget what team he plays for, but he like filed for like to the NCAA for his 9th year of eligibility.
Yes, I think it's Miami.
Miami, yeah. The tight end.
Yeah.
Something mix some I don't know. It's a crazy. I mean, I know I extended my college career a little bit on the diamond, but 9 years,
Yeah.
man. I know you had a couple injuries and stuff, but dude's fucking 27, 28 years old.
I know, it's wild.
It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy to me.
I have one more pick, the whole slate. I got no late games. It's an 8 o'clock game in Pittsburgh. I got UNC. It's 7.5 right now on DraftKings, but I'm gonna buy that down to 7 and take UNC -7. I don't think Pittsburgh really has figured out much. I don't think they really know who they are. I trust Mac Brown and North Carolina to go into Pittsburgh and get it done and win by a score here.
I lean the UNC side as well. My play in this game is over 50.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a, I mean, kind of a fade of Pitt, not being a great offensive team so far. I think UNC's defense has some real flaws. I think Pitt, this might be the game where Pitt can kind of expose that, but I do see UNC's offense scoring 35, 40 plus. So I like the over 50. I do like lean the UNC side as well. You said that was your last play of the slate?
I got nothing else. I'm keeping it short and sweet this week. Got the big games, the early games, and then I am done for college football after a tough week last week.
Short and sweet. I'm in over my head, it seems then. So yeah, wait. So I got App State at Wyoming. I got App State +3. Charlotte at Florida +28. It's just a fade of Florida. I don't think they're that good, and I think they just played out of their ass last week. Arkansas LSU over 54.5. I think we got a little bit of a shootout brewing in Baton Rouge. I got Penn State -14.5 over Iowa. I hate Iowa. Iowa sucks, and F them after what they did to me last week. So Penn State at home is gonna win by 3+ scores. And then I got USC at Arizona State. I got Arizona State +34.5. USC travels to Oregon to Colorado. We talked about that earlier. Next week, so a little bit of a look ahead spot. I think they're going to sleepwalk through this week at Arizona State. 34.5. I mean, USC is a really good team, but they don't really play a whole lot of defense. So I think Arizona State scores like 21 points, and it's a 45-21 victory for USC type of deal. So that's what I'm feeling. And yeah, that's my slate. $15 plays. I'm feeling really good about them though. So
All right, let's go. Let's have a big week again. Yeah, I think I have 6 total, 7 including Air Force tonight.
nice.
So, like I said, short and sweet. I had a tough day, tough Saturday. Hit a couple early and then just fell right off a cliff.
Yeah. I started 3-1 last week, and then hit like one of the next 5, and then kind of just like leveled out from there, So hopefully we get hot early, stay hot through the middle, and then finish off hot. So I'm ready to rock and roll. But that's it for us this week, huh?
Hell yeah, brother. Another week down. We will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching. I will get Eddie fixed in for sure this time. Make sure he sends it to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for watching. See you next week.
Yep. See y'all next week. Let's get them.